Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to dive into some modern wisdom that feels both timeless and honestly super relevant right now. It's called The Philosophy of Abdullah Khan, and it's this amazing collection of sharp, insightful thoughts on life, our relationships, and, well, the world inside ourselves. So let's get into it.
Okay, so right out of the gate, we get a taste of how this philosophy connects with our actual modern lives. I mean, think about it for a second. What does your playlist say about you? It's such a simple but really profound idea. The things we choose to surround ourselves with, even the digital stuff, are basically a mirror of who we are on the inside.
And this wisdom, it comes to us in these powerful, almost bite-sized thoughts. They're not just something you read and forget. They're really designed to be mulled over, to act as a kind of a lens, to help us see ourselves and the world just a little more clearly. And you know, what makes these words so fascinating is the person who wrote them. Abdullah Khan is an IT student in Pakistan, so he's living right at this crossroads of technology's logic and storytelling's humanity. And that unique position gives his philosophy a really interesting and grounded perspective.
All right, so where do we start? Well, like any good philosophy, it all begins with looking inward. So the first big theme we're going to tackle is this journey of introspection, of really understanding our own inner world.
Now, this one might sound a little backward at first, but it's actually a classic sign of true wisdom. See, real learning isn't just about collecting facts to feel smart. It's about starting to understand the sheer vastness of what you don't know. It's really a call for humility, which is the only real starting point for self-discovery. So, if step one is humility, where do you find it? This philosophy has a clear answer: solitude. It argues that to truly reflect, you have to get away from the noise. It's only in the quiet, away from the influence of the crowd, that we can genuinely hear what we're actually thinking.
And this is where it all comes together. This whole inner journey, this path of self-knowledge. It's not just for, personal development. It's presented as a deeply spiritual path. The more you understand yourself, your good parts, your flaws, all of it, the closer you get to understanding something much, much bigger.
Okay, so once we've spent some time looking inward, the philosophy naturally turns its gaze outward, to the complex and, let's be honest, often messy world of our relationships with other people.
I mean, what a beautiful way to define love, right? And notice how it ties right back to that idea of solitude. Real love isn't about the grand gestures you do in front of people. It's a constant presence, a feeling of connection that stays with you and thrives even when you're completely alone.
And this is so true, isn't it? This gets at the two-sided nature of human connection. Friendship can absolutely be the cure for what ails you, but this is a warning that if that friendship loses its balance, the cure can actually become a poison. It's just a powerful reminder that we need equilibrium in our relationships.
And that brings up the million-dollar question, doesn't it? If our relationships can be both a cure and a torment, how do we get more of the good stuff while avoiding the bad? Well, the text actually gives us some pretty clear, practical advice on this.
The philosophy basically gives us a framework for self-protection. First, be wary of praise. It can be a sign that things are changing. Second, guard your inner world. Don't just reveal everything to everyone, because that can lead to ruin. And finally, building on that, maintain balance by not disclosing everything. It's all about a kind of mindful privacy to protect your own peace.
And protecting that inner peace is absolutely crucial as we walk the path of life. And that brings us to our final big theme: the nature of true success and what happiness really is.
So, this philosophy makes a really powerful distinction between two kinds of happiness. You've got the happiness that just kind of lands in your lap by chance, like a gift, and then there's the happiness you earned through your own hard work. The message is crystal clear. The happiness you build yourself is the one that's going to stick around. And this builds directly on that idea of earned value, real strength, genuine dignity. You're not going to find it in a bank account. It's something internal. Your personality, your integrity, your resilience, your character. That is your true power, and it's the one thing nobody can ever take away from you. So here's the bottom line. We've seen that real strength comes from personality. And here, we see that real beauty comes from your character. It places akhlaq, your moral character, above everything else, above money, and even above the knowledge we talked about earlier. In the end, it's the ultimate measure of a person.
All right, that brings us to one last powerful thought to leave you with. It's this beautiful poetic metaphor for the entire arc of a life's journey.
This final idea uses the rhythm of nature itself to frame our lives. The journey isn't just a straight line always going up.
It has seasons. It has cycles. There are times of growth and ascent, and there are times of a quiet decline.
What a powerful image. When you're succeeding, you're like the moon, bright, visible, celebrated by everyone. But in decline, you're like the setting sun, a quiet, dignified, and totally natural descent. It's a reminder that both of these phases are part of a whole, and there's a real grace to be found in each of them.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question to really chew on. If, like Abdullah Khan's philosophy suggests, your character is your true strength and beauty, then what's the central theme of the story your life is telling? What is that core principle that guides you through both the moon's rise and the sun's fall? Thanks for joining me.